So have you ever wondered why your budget has never worked out as planned? I know I have. Hey guys, welcome back. Let's get right to it. Well, today we are going to be discussing 5 most common budgeting mistakes and how we can be smart to avoid them and then also take control of our finances. I would love for you guys to comment below your own budgeting tips and also budgeting mistakes that you have encountered during your budget journey. Before we get into these 5 mistakes, guys, go ahead and click that subscribe button and then also the notification bell, because I would love to have you join the family and to make sure that you don't miss any of my uploads. And also, go ahead, if you do love this video, go ahead and smash that like button. Let's go ahead. Let's talk about these 5 common budgeting mistakes. So the first one we are going to be talking about, y'all, and I'm going to give you examples and solutions for them. So that way we can kind of figure out something, strategy that we can use to try to overcome these common budgeting mistakes. So first one is not tracking your expenses. I feel like a lot of us make a budget, but we fail to track what we are spending, which leads to overspending, and I can raise my hand, okay? So an example for me would be the Dollar Tree. It's the thing I love to do on my lunch break to kill time, and because it's super close to where I work, they have pretty neat stuff in there. They change stuff every week. So it's just fun to go, and I noticed that I would go in, I'm gonna put this is $1.25, this is $1.25. I'm gonna get this. Oh, look, this is $5. I'm gonna go ahead and grab that in the basket. So by the time I get to checkout, I got $20 or $30 of stuff. And a lot of the times, y'all, it is freaking snacks. Like, what in the world? But also I have another thing like coffee. Joe Bean's Coffee. We have a coffee barn, and I would always hit it up with, all right, I'm gonna grab some coffee today. Tomorrow I'll make my own coffee. And then the next day come, all right, I'm just gonna get some coffee. I'll make my coffee. And then by the end of the week, I didn't got coffee for the whole week. I just spent like $50, $60, and I have free coffee at home. So, and then I'm like, okay, Tina, this is crazy. So a solution for that would be to keep like a small tracker book, and also to pretty much just jot down all of your transactions, and then also to keep a small folder for your receipts for being sure to track expenses weekly. And that will help you keep on top of your spending, and then take them points that you get from scanning your receipts that you've saved, and you can cash those in for like gift cards. And you could do Visa gift cards to use at the Dollar Tree, or gift cards to use at the coffee barn shop. You know, you just utilize that. And then I think they probably have like Starbucks gift cards too. You can use that. So that is like a win-win for everybody. All right, so the second one is forgetting about irregular expenses. Let me write that down. I can't write fast enough. So a lot of the times we overlook annual and semi-annual expenses in our monthly budgets. So that could be like insurance premiums, holiday gifts, property taxes, and all the things that cause financial stress. An example for me is I have Amazon Prime membership, which is an annual irregular expense. So it comes like every year, and sometimes it will come out on my Chase card like February the 2nd, and I've seen it come out like the 5th or the 3rd. But I have that every single year, and the amount of that is $139. That is an irregular expense. So I need to make sure that I prepare myself for this irregular expense. And then also like property taxes that we have to pay. It comes around twice a year. The amounts can vary due to the taxes for my state, but I always go by the last year, so I can get like a head start on saving for the next year. Now, a solution for that, guys, is sinking funds. Okay, light go off. So sinking funds is basically setting a goal for a certain item or a certain event that you have planned that you want to prepare for, and you want to save that money with not a lot of stress. So what you would do is you'll take the amount that you would love to save and divide that by 12 months or however long you have to save till you need to pay the bill or an event that you're going to, so that when that due date occurs, you have this money set aside to go ahead and pay it. You're not stressing and you are done. Done. All right. So let's go to number 3, which is setting unrealistic goals, which I have been guilty of this. All right, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have been guilty about this too. So pretty much that could go with overly spending or trying to think you're saving too much, having like too much of a bigger savings goals. And that could lead to you not sticking with your budget and pretty much just abandoning it in just frustration. So an example I can give you is, let's say, all right, so you normally do $300 a month for groceries. But this month you gonna say, girl, I'm gonna save $50. That's what I'm working with my family of 3. And we're only gonna use $50 for groceries. Okay, so yes, it does sound good, but is it really realistic? So trying to create dinners for 3 people with $50, I mean, some people may be able to do it. I can't do it with a $50 budget, but when you normally barely get by with $300, now that's pretty drastic and pretty unrealistic. And this also goes for savings challenges too. So I can't tell you how much I would love to stuff $500 or even $1,000 for savings challenges, but something will get neglected in my real budget. I'm telling you, like to be cut off, past due bills, because I will be pulling from my non-negotiable bills money that needs to be paid. You get me? So instead of trying to stuff more than what I know that I can, I just pretty much just pace myself. Sometimes I can stuff $20, sometimes I can stuff $50. It all depends on, that's the reason we make our budget, what's in your budget. Because if you're stuffing way too much and then you're going back into your savings challenges, not saying you're not going to have to go into your savings challenges, because that's what they're for, if you need them. But if you're just constantly just going back and forth, then that's unrealistic for you. So a solution for that, I would pretty much advise you to set achievable and realistic goals. And this plays off for the first mistake of tracking your spending and gradually adjusting your spending habits. So you're going to be tweaking and going back and forth trying to figure out, hey, this works. Hey, that works. What do I have coming out of my bills this month or this week? So gradually you're going to work your way up. Small changes, savings, and wins equals progress and results, and it builds momentum. Let's get into this 4th common budgeting mistake. We're going to say neglecting to save for emergencies. This is a big one here. Failing to have an emergency funds for unexpected expenses can force you back into debt or put you in debt for the first time if you're not in debt. Now, an example of that was I had an older car and it started to need parts, so I didn't have the money to buy or fix it because you guys know labor is expensive. So I had to use what was left on my little credit card, which by the time I used it, it was pretty much maxed out. And I'm thinking I think I was over the limit also, which hurts your credit score. So I had like 2 things working against me. I was over the limit, my card was maxed out, and that does show on your credit report. And the rule of thumb is to try to stay under 30% and below. So a solution for that, this is one that you need to definitely make a priority. It doesn't matter if you're saving small amounts of money each month, at least that will be a bit more you will have going towards your unexpected expense if it happens. And this will also give you like a peace of mind knowing that you have something saved, even if it doesn't cover the whole amount. So if you have an expense that's like $100 and you saved $60 so far, $40 is definitely better to come up with than the whole full 100 during stressful times. I just say, if you can slowly work on an emergency fund and it's not a race or whatever, you just pretty much save what you can save. Now, the fifth one that we have is ignoring high interest debts. So for this one, y'all, paying the minimum on high interest debts means most of your payment goes to the interest and a little to the principal. So we're not always going to have a lot of money to put towards debt, because that's why we're in debt from the get-go. And sometimes we do have the money, but we just spend it in the wrong places. I'm going to say that. So an example I can give you is like having a credit card with a balance of like $4,000. And the APR rate is like 28.99. So you're paying about, maybe we're estimating $115, which most of that will be ate up by the interest, which will leave you peanuts going towards the principal. So, and then you're pretty much feeling like you're in a rat race with paying off your card and you're not getting anywhere. Solution to try is to try paying more than a minimum. If you can add like an extra $50, that can save you some on paying interest. Nowadays, most credit cards, when you get your statement, or if you look online or you get it in the mail, they have an informational box that shows you how much interest you will pay and how long you will have to pay if you pay the minimum payment. And then there's also scenarios on there where you can make extra payments, and it will tell you how long it will take you. It will show you the years that are cut off if you pay the extra payment. So when you get your statement, take a look at that just to see. And I thought it was actually pretty cool that they put that on there. So, but you can also tackle this by using the debt avalanche method. You can tackle this by using the debt avalanche method, focusing on the high debts first to save money and pay off debt. I used the debt snowball, where I tackled my small debts, because that gave me the ammunition and that gave me the will to want to pay off the rest of the cards, because I saw that I was making progress. And that's how I ended up. So it's like I said, different situations for different people, different strokes for different folks. Okay. So just a little recap, the 5 mistakes that we have for common budgeting mistakes. And there are a lot more mistakes that you can have, but these were just ones that I wanted to highlight that I struggled with at first. And so we have not tracking expenses, forgetting about irregular expenses, setting unrealistic goals, neglecting to save for emergencies, and ignoring high interest debts. If you feel like one of your mistakes match any of the ones we talked about today, try implementing a solution to make change today for a healthy financial future. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me through this video. I'll be waiting for your comments in the comment section. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video, guys. So other mistakes, and then like I always say, until next time, guys, peace.